All right, today we're going to break down the core ideas from investor Naval Ravikant on how to build wealth. And look, this isn't your typical stock picking, budget cutting advice. It's a complete rethinking of work, money, and what it actually means to be free. Let's dive in. Right out of the gate, Naval hits us with this. It completely challenges the one rule most of us have built our lives around: trading time for money. He's basically saying that path, the 9-to-5 grind, might give you a steady paycheck, but it's never going to lead to real, independent wealth. I mean, that one idea alone is enough to make you stop and question the whole system. Okay, so if trading your time for money is a dead end, what's the alternative? Well, Naval says it all starts with understanding which game you're actually playing. Because in the world of work, there are really only two games: the wealth game and the status game. Let's break this down, because it's super important. The wealth game is what we call a positive sum game. Think of it like this. We're not fighting over slices of a fixed pie, we're just baking more pies. It's creative, it's collaborative, and everyone can win. Now, the status game, that's a zero-sum game. The pie is fixed. For me to get a bigger slice, you have to get a smaller one. It's all about competition and ranking. And here's why it's a trap. When you play the status game, you get stuck in this competitive, frankly hostile mindset. It totally distracts you from what really matters: building and creating. You end up wasting all your energy on office politics or trying to get a fancier job title, instead of creating actual value. So, this leads us right to the core mindset shift in Naval's philosophy. If you really want to build wealth, you have to stop fighting for a slice of that existing pie. You have to learn how to bake a completely new one. Let's get into what that actually means. And this part is absolutely crucial. The whole process has to be ethical. In Naval's world, true wealth isn't taken from other people. It's created with them. It comes from fair, voluntary exchanges where everyone walks away happy. You solve a real problem for somebody, they gladly pay you for it, and boom, new value is created in the world. So, what's the secret formula? Naval lays it out perfectly right here. Society will pay you to create something it really wants, but doesn't have a clue how to get. If you can figure out what that unmet need is, and then, this is the real key, find a way to deliver that solution at scale, you've just unlocked the engine of wealth. So the path starts to look pretty clear. Step 1, you have to own equity. You need a piece of the business, not just a salary. That's how you finally disconnect your income from the hours you work. Step 2, provide something people genuinely want. Find that thing society is desperate for. And step 3, you have to deliver it at scale. You can't just help one person at a time. You need to build systems that can serve thousands, or hey, even millions. But, how do you actually do that? How do you get that kind of scale? I mean, one person can only do so much, right? The answer, and this might be the most important concept in this whole philosophy, is leverage. And Naval breaks it down into 3 key types. The first kind of leverage is something Naval calls specific knowledge. Now, this is not the stuff you learn in a classroom or from a textbook. It's the unique expertise you build from your own genuine curiosity, from tinkering, from actually doing things. It's something that can't just be copied. Yeah, specific knowledge is earned in the trenches, through practice and just being obsessed with something. It's often really technical or super creative. And here's the ultimate tell. If you found your specific knowledge, it feels like play to you. But to everyone else, it looks like incredibly hard work. That's when you know you're onto something. Okay, pillar number 2 is accountability. This is all about putting your name on the line. It means taking public ownership of what you do and being willing to face the consequences, good or bad. When you have accountability, you've got skin in the game. You're not hiding behind a big company name. Yeah, you're embracing the risk of failure, but you're also putting yourself in the position to capture all of the rewards of success. Society just instinctively trusts and rewards people who take on that kind of personal risk. And that brings us to the third and, honestly, the most powerful pillar: leverage itself. This is really the art of using tools and systems to massively amplify your judgment and your skills without you having to put in any more time. And today, the most powerful forms of leverage are what Naval calls permissionless. And that word is huge. It's revolutionary. It means you don't need to ask anyone for permission to build something and get it out to the world. The 2 best examples of this right now: code and media. You gotta love these analogies. Code lets you build software. It's like having an army of robots working for you 24/7, serving customers while you sleep. And media, a blog, a YouTube channel, whatever, is like having your own personal broadcast tower. You can reach millions of people for practically nothing. It's incredible. So we've got the tools: specific knowledge, accountability, and leverage. But that brings up a really big question. Why? What's the point of all this? What's the end game? Well, the answer probably isn't what you think. The whole point of building wealth isn't to buy a bunch of fancy stuff. It's to buy your freedom. It's about owning your time. Having the freedom to wake up and say, what do I want to do today? That's the real prize. Now, to really get this idea to sink in, Naval suggests a pretty powerful mental exercise. I want you to set an aspirational hourly rate for yourself. Pick a number that sounds almost crazy, like $5,000 an hour. So why do this? Because it forces you to make completely different decisions. I mean, if your time is worth $5,000 an hour, are you going to spend an hour arguing with a stranger on the internet? Are you going to run an errand that you could pay someone $20 to do? No way. You outsource it, you automate it, or you just ignore it. And that frees you up to focus only on the things that actually move the needle. And when you start focusing only on those high-leverage things, you naturally find your way to this final, really profound idea. The best way to win isn't to be a little bit better than your competition, it's to escape competition completely, just by being yourself. Think about it. When you combine your own specific knowledge, your unique personality, your skills, you create something that literally no one else on the planet can replicate. You're not in a competition anymore. So the real question this whole philosophy leaves us with isn't just, how do I get rich? It's, how do I become more of myself? Because finding the answer to that, that's where the real wealth is.